class, there was a couplet by Mirza Muhammad Rafi Sauda. हर संग में शरार है तेरे ज़हूर का, मूसा नहीं जो सैर करूं कोहिनूर का. यानी हर पत्थर में चिंगारी है. For me that is enough. That is a God. मैं मूसा नहीं हूँ कि मैं आपसे कहूँ मुझे दिखाइए अपनी तजल्ली, तो मैं जो हूँ कोहिनूर में गया और कोहिनूर जो है अल्लाह ने एक तजल्ली से चल गया. तो हर संग में शरार है तेरे ज़हूर का, मूसा नहीं जो सैर करूं कोहिनूर का. तो वो जो मैं फील्ड में देखता हूँ चीजें, मॉक्स देखता हूँ, तो वो सारी चीजें मुझे दिखाई. You see, I have read a lot about Aligarh Muslim University before coming to Aligarh through a hall magazine named Aftab. Aftab 1983. Aftab magazine, which was published in 1983. Some of my relatives have got that magazine, so I have read that magazine. So I had some idea through that magazine, and my younger brother came here in 1984. He came here in PUC, and I came after my 12th. He came after his high school. He got admitted in arts. He was having just first division. I was having slightly more marks, but in science I could not get admission after my high school in PUC. So that was the first setback. Then after completing my intermediate, I came here in 1985, and I found this place entirely different from my place. As far as environment is concerned, as far as the teaching is concerned, everything was different. And let me be very frank and true to myself and to our alma mater also, that I was not a very good student in I have changed myself after coming to this place. I have transformed me 180 degree after coming to this place. You see, my uncle was in ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Commission. So the focus of my family was that I will be going into geology, so that I can be absorbed sometimes after my education into ONGC, because my uncle was in ONGC and he was in a very good position also. So geology subject was predestined for me. I have studied that subject, and when I completed my BSc, perhaps I was having second position in my BSc, and then in MSc also I have got my second position. And during my MSc, one of my teacher, Professor Khurshid Akhtar Sahab, he asked me and my class fellow who was topper, and there was one more student, Shalin Kumar Srivastava, my topper, my class topper, Professor Irfan Ali Mangal, who is a professor now in Department of Geology, myself, for all we three, Professor Khurshid Akhtar Sahab said that you people should stay here. You should do research and come into the teaching. Also, there was a problem at that time, because at that time the jobs in geology was at the saturation level. I was vying for ONGC. There was no test for some 5 years in ONGC. No test for jobs. It could be held only in 1995 or 96. I have passed my MSc in 1990. From 1990 to 96, there was no job exam for ONGC. So I went for NET. I have qualified GRF and NET, and once I qualified GRF and NET, then I came into research and yes, of course, because we used to live in hostels, and in our days the hostels were having students from all the streams, from all the disciplines. So we used to interact a lot with students of other disciplines. There were many senior students. If we had any problem in any subject, in any topic, we had our seniors to help us in the hostel itself. There was no concept of tuition, there was no concept of coaching at that time. Then I have my younger brother here. He was also having a friend circle. He was from political science. So his friend circle was having students from history and political science. So when I interacted with them over the tea, then I got a lot of intellectual input from their side. So then we have, this university has got some very good institutions. For example, we have a General Education Center. At that time it was called as General Education Center, GEC. Now it has been renamed as Cultural Education Center. In General Education Center we used to have a lot of lectures from humanities, from politics, from economics. I have heard Vishambhar Nath Pandey here, I have heard Khusro Sahab here, many. So once you listen to them, you are enriched. So we have very diverse combination of people here, starting from students to the top, that is our teachers. So you can learn each and everywhere. Every step can provide you some sort of learning. And that is the hallmark of residential life of this university. This university has a residential life. Everything is happening around halls of residence and hostels. So you get lot of enrichment as far as your intellectual capabilities are concerned. You see, I will not take the full credit of establishing this lab. This lab was already established during 1960s. But this lab was housed in the main building, where we have principal's office and dean's office. From there, I got this lab shifted to this Department of Civil Engineering under the chairmanship of Professor V.P. Mittal, and later Professor V.P. Mittal sir was our chairman and principal was Professor Razaullah Khan sir. So they have encouraged me that you shift from there into this lab. So I have shifted each and everything. It was already rich lab as far as the teaching at undergraduate level is concerned. But because I have made this subject and this course for higher level at PG level, so I have added something into this. So this addition can be attributed to me, but the base was already created by my predecessors, which I can name Professor Shadab Khurshid, Professor Khurshid Akhtar, Professor S. M. Kashyap, and there were many more before me who have got this lab established. You see, the departmental coordinator for MBA was a big achievement, because when MBA in present form, when it was started some 4 or 5 years back, many of us were not knowing exactly what exactly it is. So it was a big challenge, and nobody was coming forward to take this challenge up. Myself and my junior colleague Sabahat Ali Khan, who is in Canada nowadays for his PhD, we were entrusted this task. And we have done a lot of labor. We have burned our midnight oil till 4 a.m. in our house at our home, and we have worked very hard to get this MBA document prepared. And fortunately, we were rewarded also. We got the maximum score in all the departments of this college. And I give credit to my junior colleague Sabahat Ali Khan and the then chairman Professor Muhammad Arif Sahab for having faith in us. As far as provostship is concerned, I was given the task of running Nadeem Taleen Hall by the then Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant General Zabiruddin Shah Sahab. I have accepted it happily, and I have tried my best to run that call, and I hope that it was good. You see, change has to be there. You cannot live in this world without change. The change is very natural. Everything changes with time. So the students, so the teachers, so the administration. And when we were students, our senior used to say that past was much better as compared to today. So I can also say that the past was much better than today. But today's students, they will say that their their present, which is now going to be the past, is better than what is coming up. But actually, everything was moving positively. You cannot be a rigid system. You have to change as per the requirement of the world, requirement of the nation, requirement of the society, requirement of your own university. You see, nowadays, we never thought of teaching online. We never thought of teaching online. But ultimately, we are teaching. Though we are feeling some handicap in this teaching, but still we are trying our best. And it is the students also who are trying their best to cope up with this present scenario. Our past generations in this university, they were behaving as per the requirement of the then system and the society. Today's student, they are doing as per today's requirement. The thing is that what is needed today, you cannot always carry everything which has happened in the past. Something new has to come. We should not forget our past. We should try to relive that past, and we should try to get maximum benefit out of the past. But just to cling on your past, you cannot leave the future. You cannot leave the future. You see, I was going through Sir Syed Sahab's he started a magazine that is Tehzeeb-ul Akhlaq. And he started this magazine after keeping in his mind the two magazines of that time. One was named as Tatler, and there was another magazine, perhaps its name was Spectacle. So these two magazines, after going through these two magazines, he started Tehzeeb-ul Akhlaq. Tatler, when I tried to find out what exactly the Tatler is, then I have found out that this is a magazine which used to discuss the upper class of the society, or at the most middle class of the society. So Sir Syed Sahab was inspired by that magazine. So he started Tehzeeb-ul Akhlaq. In Tehzeeb-ul Akhlaq, he started writing about the things which can be used to brought up the society. He was always interested in modernizing the society. He never wanted to take the society back. He saw future. And so he started this magazine. Today I am not very happy with that magazine. It has become a simple Urdu magazine. I am a member of that Tehzeeb-ul Akhlaq. I can ascribe fault to me also. In that Tehzeeb-ul Akhlaq, there is no topic on science, there is no topic on modern society, there is no topic on what you call polity, present day polity. Everything literature and Urdu and some travelogues and everything. No, it should cover each and every aspect of life and society. But the fault of ours is that we are not contributing to that magazine. We should first contribute to that magazine that I am writing a topic on climate change. And if it is not published there, then I can lament. But it's the fault of us also that the larger society of this university is not contributing to the Tehzeeb-ul Akhlaq. So we are lacking. Tehzeeb-ul Akhlaq has become a magazine of few persons who keep on writing and keep on writing and keep on writing about their field of interest, which may not be always wanted by the general populace. So we should have a Hindi part, we should have an English part within one magazine, and we should have an Urdu part also, and we should try to have diverse field represented there. And I will try to talk to the editorial board in this context that what you are doing. This problem is everywhere. The problem between clergy and social reformers and scientists. This triangle is always there. And none of them, they want to leave space for others. Especially if you go into the past centuries. So the attrition is there. Now you have to see how best you can treat through this attrition. Sir Syed Saab has done very well without going into any controversy. He has treated his path very strictly and very safely. You see that the establishment of Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College and this university has also led to the development of other institutes, and they also have importance even today. Deoband, opposite to this concept, Nadwa, opposite to this concept, PHU, opposite to this contest. But today, all four are standing tall. So yes, there was differences, but then those differences have come out with some positive things also. So let's not blame clergy, let's not blame social reformers, let's not blame scientists. They all are doing their own job, and we are all getting benefited by all. We are getting benefited by all. We need all those. You see, I'm not a scholar on Sir Syed Saab. I can't speak much on Sir Syed Saab. He was so big and great personality. But what I can take from his words, that he was never tired of doing the things. That is something very important. You see, he has written the very first book on archaeology, Asarus Sanadid. And it was not easy. I have read somewhere, I have overheard that he has written about the things on Qutub Minar while hanging from Qutub Minar. So, I don't know in how much, in almost 80 plus years of his life, 1817 minus 1898, whatever it comes, he has done a lot of things. And I have come to know that he was not having a bed for sleeping. He used to sleep on the firsh, and he used to work on the floor. He used to have a desk for writing. He used to write, and then he used to sleep there itself. He started with translating English books on agriculture. He established the scientific society for this book. And the unfortunate thing is that we have not been able to replicate Satyajit Sahab. Even an iota of his work could not be replicated, and for this we ourselves, myself, we ourselves, and the whole society is to take cognizance of that why, how he can do these many things with limited resources, with almost no resources. But today there is no dearth of resources, but we lack willpower. You see, it depends that to what event you will call a bad event and to what event you will call a good event. As far as controversies are concerned, everywhere there is a controversy. But the good things are not highlighted. It is a general rule that good things are not highlighted, but the bad things are. But yes, sometimes we err. Sometimes we take things too far. And many of the times we forget the main purpose of our stay here. We leave that purpose and we get drifted by other things. The first and foremost important thing for us as a student is to study. And then you can do other things within a proper disciplinary code, within the rule of law. But let's not go beyond threshold. For external persons, for persons who are outside this Aligarh system, we are not able to protect ourselves through good scientists, reputed scientists coming out of Aligarh. Not from Aligarh. They are from Aligarh, but they are stationed somewhere else. They are doing jobs somewhere else. We are not getting good number of civil servants. If you have good number of civil servants in the arena of our administrative system, if you have good number of scientists, if you have good number of social reformers, if you have good numbers of writers, then people will not come to you. They will think before pointing fingers. That no, let's check first the fact. You see, you go through the newspapers in English, in Urdu and in Hindi. Do you think any contribution from Aligarh students? I am very sorry to say that. Yes, in Inqilab you may have one or two articles, but our faculty from social sciences, why they are not contributing to the national literature which used to come in newspapers and all those? Why? Because we from science and from engineering, we are writing research papers and we are trying to innovate and whatnot. What they are doing, they should come up with, at least in newspapers we should have at least one article from any faculty member in a week only, one in a week only, from political science, from sociology, from history, from psychology, from philosophy. There is no dearth of. You see the Indian Express, you see the Hindu, you see the Times of India. I have not seen any article, except very few, which I can number on my fingers. That is the problem. If I am true to myself, then I will say that lethargy in our faculty members. We are not doing that much as people in other institutes are doing. We are not doing that. I should not unnecessarily boost myself and my faculty colleagues. There are people who are doing a lot of work, but in general, we are not putting that much of efforts as we should have been. Because in AMU, there is no dearth of facility. The level of facility which we are getting is not available at many institutes. You see, man is a social animal. Man is a social animal. You can say human beings are social animals. And you cannot live away from the society. And whatever is going on at national level, you have to be either part of that or you have to be exactly diagrammatically opposite to that. Middle path may not always be. So I was in support of the cause for which students were fighting. I was also with the faculty members who were fighting, because I could understand that whatever is happening is not good. It's not humane. So that's why I sided with those protests. But I have to talk to my students just for the fact that let's be at a normal level. Let's not go beyond threshold. You can continue with your protest, but also go for your studies also. Because ultimately it is your study which is going to pay for you. And the fear in our mind was actually at that time that if somehow university is closed, then everything will come to that dead stop. So we never wanted the university to be closed. We can go to lodge our protest, as well as we should also move towards the things which is giving us the bread and butter. And the students who are going to get bread and butter for themselves after the completion of their studies. So their studies cannot be left behind indefinitely. You can go for both. You see, I have seen lot many students here. From a student who was not having even rubber slipper for himself, he was not having shirt and pant. He lived here on borrowed, everything given by friends. But he has completed his studies. Now he is having mall. He has a mall, full-fledged mall with him. Of a student, a boy who was not having anything with him at that time. And then I can also have an example of a student who was my friend also, who was everything at his hand at that time, everything. But today he is having nothing with him. He is having nothing with him. So we have both the extremes here. Aligarh is a very good place. And as of today, there is no restriction, there is no check and balance also. In our days, we had lot of check and balance by our seniors. My younger brother used to live in SS Hall. I went to him. I could not find him. I went to Shamshad and had a tea. And the next Saturday, one senior has asked me that why you are sipping tea at Shamshad? You are living in MM Hall, Safety Hostel. Why you went to Shamshad? So I was scolded like anything. And from that day, I didn't take tea for 4 or 5 years in Shamshad. So that was the check and balance at that time. There is no dearth of facility in hostels. There is no dearth of books in library, which we have in our hostels, which we have in our department, which we have in our college, which we have in our central library. What else you want? What else you want? You have a sports facility. All kinds of sports are available. At every level, everything is available. What not is present here? But it is up to us that how much we can take benefit of.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.
So for the students and for everybody, I will say the last statement that you come from many different places in India, mostly very small places. Most of us, 80% come from very humble background. Come here, study, enjoy the campus life, but study and use Aligarh Muslim University as a springboard. If you have come for 11th, 12th, I for IITs. If you have done graduation, I for IITs. If you have done here some job, go for better place and bigger place. So use Aligarh Muslim University as a jump board. And I know all those who have put shortest time in Aligarh, they are very well placed. And those who have put all their years in this Aligarh Muslim University, increasing the number of years in seniority, they have not been very successful. नहीं, इंटरेस्ट जो पैदा हुआ था वो तो बचपन में आई यूज्ड टू लिव इन बहराइच. My father was in job and he was posted in Bahrain. So there is a Jama Masjid. The Jama Masjid was under reconstruction. For reconstruction, they have brought lot of rocks, aggregate. But they brought pebbles and cobbles in that form, riverbed aggregates, and there were persons who used to break them to make aggregate. So we had heap of stones. So I used to collect stones. So interest in rock started from that place. Then I visited some place in Nepal and then in Dehradun. So it has increased, but the main what you call impetus I got for this subject was because of ONGC link. But when I was in class 9th, I was having Urdu as an additional subject. At that time, you have to make choice for science and arts stream at 9th class. So I have selected science stream, but I took Urdu as a additional subject. And in 9th class, there was a couplet by Mirza Muhammad Baqi Sauda. हर संग में शरार है तेरे ज़हूर का, मूसा नहीं जो सैर करूं वो हुजूर का. यानी हर पत्थर में चिंगारी है. For me that is enough. There is a God. मैं मूसा नहीं हूँ कि मैं आपसे कहूँ कि मुझे दिखाइए अपनी तजल्ली. तो मैं जो हूँ कोहे तूर में गया और कोहे तूर जो है अल्लाह की तजल्ली से जल गया. तो हर संग में शरार है तेरे ज़हूर का, मूसा नहीं जो सैर करूं वो हुजूर का. तो वो जब मैं फील्ड में देखता हूँ चीज़ें, मॉक्स देखता हूँ, तो वो सारी चीज़ें मुझे नेचर से मैं हमेशा, जब मैं मेरे साथ से UKG और LKG में था, हो सकता है बहुत से बच्चे करते हो, तब मेरे फादर की पोस्टिंग संगीला में थी. तो वहाँ पे मैं पेड़ तोड़ के लाता था छोटे छोटे, और यही कुर्सी ऐसी होती थी, उनमें मैं लगाता रहता था. तो एक्चुअली आई एम नेचर लर्निंग पर्सन. और इस सब्जेक्ट में मुझे नेचर से बहुत
Thank you so much for your time. So I really appreciate it. Really, thank you so much for